Okay, ChatGPT, let's get started.
Absolutely. Let the travel tales commence. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and share your story and then just let me know when you've wrapped up with it, that you finished, and I'll jump in with feedback in the next question. Let's roll.
Yes, actually, have you been to somewhere besides the country Korea? I've been to about six country. Yeah. After I graduate, I a couple of times I've been to Japan. It was Osaka twice, and Kyoto and Okinawa and the what was that? What was that? Kumamoto, and in the middle of my business trip from Mexico, and I've been to the States three times, and I've been to Mexico for business trip twice, and Hong Kong as well, and Vietnam with my family, and
All right.
Taiwan also.
Got it, Globetrotter. You've woven quite a patchwork of travel spots there. Now, let me sprinkle in a tiny bit of grammar stardust. You did super well. Just a couple of little tweaks. Instead of saying, I've been to about six country, you'd say, I've been to about six countries. And instead of, I've been to Japan a couple of times, you can just smoothly say, I've been to Japan a couple of times. All in all, you painted the picture well. So now that we've got that first leg of the journey down, let's dig a bit deeper. Next question. Out of all those places, which trip gave you the most memorable or surprising experience?
In my case, actually, when I was in the States, about it was, I'm a freshman in my previous company. When it was 2023, yeah, early, early year of 2023, yeah, I've been to Western world. I mean Western country for the first time. Yeah, so it was very interested in. So because whenever I go, whenever I whoever I come across is just unfamiliar foreigners, something like white guys or black guys, Hispanic guys. Yeah, that was very interesting. It was very interesting, and yeah, I was able to make very a range of friends. I mean, yeah, they have some very variety of background. Yeah, from Russia or from the States or from the Puerto Rico. So yeah, it was very fascinating because they have their own mind on their life. So yeah, they always feels their life as present, present or gift. So because yeah, they don't struggle to live toughly. So they don't struggling to keep up with some the of rent or living cost. They just yeah, it feels like they flew just flew on the wave of what wave on their life. Yeah, they don't keep focusing on their living or their good luxury apartment or luxury designer bag or something like that, or luxury sports car. But they always try to um, take care of their own family, their own kids. That is the only way be they can be happy. So yeah, I think in from their from their view, the most important thing is love and their mindset to their own family and their future. Yeah, that was interesting. And yeah, in Korea, most Korean guys try to squeeze themselves. So yeah, it was very peaceful. And yeah, and as well, yeah, and I also encountered and I also come across Korean people who has some Korean background, but they moved to moved to the States. So yeah, whenever I come across that kind of people, they always said, "Oh, I'm very satisfied with this situation because I can spend my time on my family." So that's the reason why I'm completely satisfied with this um this atmosphere. So yeah, it was very interesting and fascinating. Your turn.
Wonderful. You really gave me a whole travel tapestry there, and you totally stuck the landing with your turn. So let me gently weave in a few improvements. First, you did great at expressing your thoughts, and I could follow along just fine. Couple of tiny tweaks. Instead of saying it was very interested in, you'd say it was very interesting. And instead of they always feels, we'd say they always feel. Little plural and singular adjustments like that, but overall you painted such a vivid picture of how fascinating it was to meet people from all sorts of backgrounds, and I can feel that sense of how they just seem to ride the wave of life without swaying the small stuff. Beautifully put. Now let's move on to our next part. For our reflection piece, what do you think you realised from that experience? Or if you had to hear it again more simply, how would you put it?
I knew and I was able to feel that the life, I mean, my life is very important and very precious because before I came across and I met up with them, I think that I mean it is, yeah, it was too important and too the most important thing that buying apartment and having a good new car and having some luxury bags or something like that. So yeah, I wasn't supposed to do that, but in Korean culture, that is very important thing that people think of. So for example, on Instagram, they are always trying to post some good new designer bag or good having some good trips with their family or girlfriend, boyfriend. Yeah, that's the most important and most yeah, that's the best thing they, yeah, I thought as well. I thought that as well, but it is not all. It is not all. So um as I as I as I hang out with my foreigner friends or foreigner classmates. So um,
That was a great reflection, and you really brought it home nicely. Just a couple of final brushstrokes for clarity. Instead of I knew and I was able to feel that my life is very important, you might just say I realized my life is truly precious. And instead of I wasn't supposed to that, because I didn't have to think that way anymore. Just little simplifications. In essence, you summed it up beautifully. You found that life isn't all about the shiny trophies, fancy bags, new cars, and Instagram boasts. Instead, your travels taught you that what really matters is cherishing your life, your family, and that sense of being present. And you said it simply too. Life is about more than just stuff. All right, I think we've wrapped up today's little adventure. If you want to keep this routine going, just let me know, and we'll dive back in tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't cut me off. Yeah. I'm gonna keep my conversation, and yeah. So, I think life is not life is not to squeeze myself or keep keep me keep pressing myself. So it is too hard and too tough for me. So yeah, as soon as I realized that, I tried something different from the past, from or some from my previous experience. So how can how am I gonna live a little bit more beneficially and efficiently and more meaningfully? So yeah, that's the main reason why I made a decision to go abroad. So go abroad and study abroad. That's the main reason. So yeah, I believe that I don't. Yeah, it took a while. It took me a while whether this journey, I mean this experience, is gonna be beneficial or helpful for my entire life. Yeah, it's been a while. It took a year, about a year, and then I was able to make decision to go abroad and study abroad in the UK, especially because it takes just 1 year to get some certification of postgraduate school. So it is really, really helpful. Yeah, but yeah, I can't. I just
You've
can't.
wrapped up
Yeah,
really
yeah.
nicely,
I
and I can
can't
see the whole picture you're
really.
painting here. Basically, you realized life doesn't have to be a constant squeeze or a pressure cooker. Instead, you found a more meaningful way to live, and that realization nudged you towards studying abroad in the UK. And hey, realizing it only takes 1 year to get that postgraduate certification was a nice bonus. In short, you've learned to take life a bit less like a high pressure race and more like a meaningful journey. And that sounds like a fantastic takeaway. All right, that's our reflection for today. If you want to keep this rhythm going, just let me know, and we'll keep the conversation rolling on our next session.
Okay, ChatGPT. I feel we should call it a day now. Have a good one. Thank you.
Absolutely, we sure will. Like a good book, we'll pick up right where we left off, turning each day into a little chapter of your English speaking journey. So just bring your stories, your thoughts, and we'll keep spinning the conversational wheel. Looking forward to the next